I apologize if I offended you. You're getting aggressive. So what comes first on the calendar, March or April? Just asked him what month comes first, bro. Are we really going there and throwing shots? I want to know. So is Cortland Henry sleeping with Mariah Hamilton? That's none of my business. It's a very serious question. That would be my motive right there. This is getting messy as YNW Melly's defense team took deposition of Detective Garrett Steele back in December. This deposition pertains to the witness tampering case. A lot of it is talking about emails, and then they get into the kites, which is notes that inmates pass to each other. And obviously Melly's accused in his witness tampering case of passing a note to someone. The defense lawyers poke some holes in what is being said in these kites, because it is mumbo jumbo and a lot of bullshit going on. It gets very interesting towards the end. Hit subscribe. Let's go. Our first thing we got here, sworn motion to dismiss count 1. Jamel Demons, buying through his attorneys, his motion to dismiss count 1 of the criminal information filed against him and alleges that there are no material disputed facts and that the undisputed facts do not give rise to a prima facie case of guilt against the defendant. Melly's charged with tampering with a witness in a capital felony. Information in count 1 alleges through April 10th through July 22nd, defendant Jamel Demons did unlawfully and knowingly engage in misleading conduct and offer pecuniary benefit or gain with the intent to cause or induce Mariah Hamilton to withhold testimony from an official proceeding. So they're talking about the first trial. They're saying he stopped his girlfriend from testifying at the first trial in 2023. Avoid legal process summoning her to appear as a witness in an official proceeding. Be absent from official proceeding to which she has been summoned by legal process. The information defines the subject matter official proceeding as the trial in the matter of State of Florida versus Jamel Demons, case number blah blah blah. It is undisputed that Mariah Hamilton was never summoned by legal process to appear at the trial. Wait, what? So she was never summoned? That's an undisputed fact? Is that for real? It's undisputed that the court record in the matter of State of Florida versus Jamel is devoid of any proof that a subpoena to attend the trial was ever issued. Wow. Well, that changes things, right? Perfected or attempted to be served either by the defense team or state attorney or any other government body summoning Mariah Hamilton to testify at the trial. It's undisputed that the state of Florida made no attempts during the trial to serve Mariah Hamilton with summons or warrant to attend the trial, as there was no subpoena or warrant ever issued. Wait, hold on. So this guy's charged with witness tampering and like stopping her from testifying, but she was never summoned. That changes things, right? Drastically. It's undisputed that lead detective Garrett Steele gave deposition testimony that he does not have any evidence of monetary payments being made by Jamel to Mariah Hamilton during the trial. See pages 49, deposition. So I have this deposition of Garrett Steele, and I'm going to read it in this video as well. It's very long. Don't know how long this video is going to be. The application of law to undisputed facts shows that the state of Florida is not and cannot meet the factual burden of establishing a prima facie case of witness tampering. Wow. This is a continuation of her deposition. You just hand me a bunch of papers because last deposition I didn't have any papers. Steele says, yes, ma'am. So every A is an answer from Steele, and the question is probably Miss Liberty questioning Garrett Steele. Please state your name. My name is Garrett Steele. Paperwork I hand you is what has already been turned over as evidence. I know last time there was a concern that those were not in front of either one of us. So is this Mathis? Miss Liberty, that's everything. So Mathis is Terrence Mathis, one of the guys that helped Melly allegedly witness tampering in the jail and everything with notes and talking to Bortland on the cell phone. So it's Mathis and Demons. Yes, ma'am. And then we're looking at the sticker holding the kite together comes from a diet meal. Wait, what? A sticker from a diet meal. Who is Canon Elijah? Detention deputy that searched the cell. What cell? Mr. Mathis, or excuse me, I would have to look at it. Can you show it to me? That's Mr. Demons' cell. Do you know how Detective Polo actually came about getting certain emails from Christine Bradley? I mean, I'm assuming it was sent over to him. This is all the evidence that I was provided. I want to go specifically. When did the witness tampering investigation start? In September, as far as the GPS. And then September 2023, my involvement in the case is when I started. When did you think the investigation for tampering started? I can't speak for the investigation. I can tell you my investigation started that day, September 22nd. And how did it come? What was in the report? Who called you? I'm going to object, Miss Buckaloo says. Wow, Buckaloo's objecting? I'm objecting because you've already asked that. Okay. Miss Liberty, you can answer. You can certify it, ma'am. It was already asked and answered. So you're not going to tell me about Miss Liberty. I've already answered. I actually don't think you actually answered that question. How this case came in. Yes, ma'am, I did. 100% remember it specifically. Okay, so it was a 911 call. Somebody from objection to asked and answered. This was all went over in the first part of the depot. What the fuck? I don't have the first part of the depot. They said something about a 911 call. What? For the witness tampering case? Huh? All right, I'll file a motion that you would not address it. Miss Liberty, no, we'll move on. You want to address it, so we'll have a hearing on that question since you want to certify it. Okay, so let's go to when you're adopting Detective Polo's work. We're talking about emails, right? Yes, ma'am, I did. So you specifically talking about an email dated April 18th. Yes, ma'am. Can you show me the email? Yes, ma'am, you have it as well. And just for the record, I found your name on every one of the emails as well. I know. So you were there. You last time led me to believe that you didn't know about any emails and your name was on them. So Garrett Steele's accusing Miss Liberty of lying about email bullshit right now. And I think this is pertaining to Mariah Hamilton being summoned court or deposition or something at some point through email. Miss Liberty, I didn't make you believe that. I said I haven't seen an email from April 18th, so please show it to me. Well, no, I wanted to see the email from April 18th. I have it here. What does it say? From Christine Bradley. April 18th, 2023. To Mr. Stuart Aldestein. Wait, her name's not on this. What the fuck is he talking about? Her name's not even on it. The body of it, we will have an answer tomorrow. What dates are available? Hold on. So I'm looking at April 18th. Yes, ma'am. I just want to start where you said that I was part of this email. You're a part of all the email chains. Yes. I'm looking at April 18th. Is my name anywhere on that email specifically? On the April 18th email specifically? No, ma'am. But he just said her name was on April 18th and she just said my name's not on it. The other ones, yes, but on the September 9th. I'm talking about April 18th. Yes, ma'am. I understand. I'm not on that one. All right. But you led me to believe that last time you had no notion of emails. No, I led you to believe that I had no notion of April 18th email. Okay, I'm not here to argue. I'm here to provide my deposition. This is already a shit show. These two bickering. Miss Liberty and Garrett Steele. So your report says that from April 18th email, right? Yes, ma'am. You said that a deposition was scheduled from that. Yes, ma'am. So I'm looking at April 18th, okay? We'll have an answer tomorrow. How is that scheduling a deposition? So not only with this email, but other pages that I provide you, it's specific dates, specific times, which Aldestein and Miss Hamilton's defense attorney are trying to schedule depositions. I also believe it talks about Mr. Aldestein and the following motions for the depositions, which I was provided to you as well. Summertime is coming up and nothing beats healthy, nutritious meals from Factor. Eating well has never been easy. In just 2 minutes, you can heat up a meal, giving you more time to do what you want. Factor meals arrive fresh and ready to eat, perfect for any active lifestyle. And I know you guys are very busy watching this video. Instead of wasting all that time prepping and cooking, that's like hours a week, dude. How can you beat a 2-minute healthy, nutritious meal? With 45 weekly menu options, you can pick gourmet meals to help you with your goals. Choose from Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, Keto, and more. I've recently switched to the Protein Plus option because I'm lifting again and I'm getting on the treadmill. And let me just tell you, this cut is going amazing with Factor. I'm losing around 2 pounds a week, which is perfect for my body weight. And I really think Factor has been making an impact on that, no joke. Factor powers your day with satisfying breakfast, on-the-go lunches, guilt-free snacks and desserts, and premium dinners. I mean, there's tons of options to choose from each week. It's amazing. Get started at factormeals.com/cuff50off and use code cuff50off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. That's code cuff50off at factormeals.com/cuff50off to get 50% off plus free shipping. Extremely easy and convenient. Love you guys. Back to the video. Miss Hamilton's attorney just called and asked if there was any way we could do a deposition on Monday, May 15th. And said I can rearrange my schedule to accommodate. If that works for you, let me know. Have a great weekend, Christina Bradley. So again, you're saying an email was coordinated and agreed to. Would you go to that? It was agreed to. Would that go with it as agreed to? It wasn't really agreed to there. It was like more so like asking if there was any way to do a deposition on May 15th. Miss Liberty, what I'm saying is there's an email thread that is obviously apparent that everybody involved, including yourself, had contact with the representative to schedule these depositions. Where do you see an email where Stuart Aldestein or myself were in contact with Christopher Barris? So was there an email to either from Christopher Barris or Christine Bradley talking about Miss Barris's availability? I would have to go look back through. Like I said, I don't know everybody's schedule. Okay, but you read the emails coming to this, right? Correct, I did. So I'm looking at email dated April 28th that you handed me. Could you turn to that one? You did just read it. It's saying that he's not available, correct? Correct. So that's coordinating. 100% that's coordination. So if somebody's not available, it's still coordinating. Okay. Coordinating a date. And Miss Liberty, you were on that email as well. I'm not denying that. I wasn't on the April 18th though, was I? Okay. So let's turn to another email that you sent me April 5th from Miss Bradley. It appears she's left me out of the email as well. It's on Stuart Aldestein. He's your co-counsel, correct? It didn't come to me, so... But I assume all co-counsel, you would have access to all. You should not assume. Well, I apologize for that. This is such a shit show. This is... bickering over scheduling emails right now for depositions, bro. And I think it's because obviously the main thing I read earlier, the defense says they never officially scheduled a deposition for Mariah ever. Is that not a continuation? So if you want to go through it, you have a from, you have a sent, you have a to. On this email dated April 5th, my investigative name appears nowhere. My other co-counsel appears nowhere. It is between Christine Bradley and Stuart Aldestein. You see Stuart Aldestein, my co-counsel, then correct Miss Bradley's mistake, and then he added everybody to the emails. Okay, so you understand that because you keep going back and forth. It's almost like you're taking this defensive position with me about something and trying to allude to what emails don't say. So again, I'm on this page from an email dated. Do you want me to tell me the date since you're doing the deposition? Yes, ma'am. We've got April 5th, which... also continues down into Wednesday, March 22nd. I apologize if I offended you. You're getting aggressive. How does it continue down? How does it begin of the email from March 22nd begin? Please advise of the status of sketch of deposition, Ms. Hamilton. Also, has your committee reconsidered waiving the death in this case? Thank you. So what comes first on the calendar, March or April? Miss Liberty is not playing games. She's just asked him what month comes first, bro. That's are we really going there and throwing shots? You said the email below is a continuation of the email from April. So what comes first? So as it reads, can you answer my question? I am answering the question. What comes first on this paper? What month comes first, March or April? Miss Liberty, I don't appreciate you being aggressive. This is above you as your status of a court officer. So do not continue to berate me. Would you agree that April comes after March? So when you say continuation, Yes, ma'am, of an email. I agree, but also we have to look at the paper. I want to clarify so we never have to come back and you have to say that I've said something that is incorrect. So you are correct. March does come before April, and asking that is offensive, honestly. I'm sorry. Because you're alluding to a certain lack of intelligence, and I have not done one thing to you, and I don't appreciate it, because as your status as a court officer, I feel you should be above that. Sir, we're in a deposition. Yes, ma'am, I understand that. You just stated, but when you come off like that, I don't appreciate it. But it's okay for you to be that way with me. Ma'am, I don't believe I have, and if I have, I'm going to apologize right now, and I'm sorry if you feel that way. Yes, you accused me of lying several times. Why to come to you and say, am I on the email? No, ma'am, I didn't accuse you. I was led to believe. Let's move on. Counsel for Mr. Demons is Assistant Attorney Christine Bradley exchanged emails on scheduling of Mariah Hamilton for depositions. Ms. Hamilton was commonly referred re-read by the defendant, Rihanna, which is a reference to Ms. Hamilton. The deposition of Ms. Hamilton was supposed to take place on May 5th, as evidenced by the May 1st, 2023 filing counsel by Mr. Demons. The deposition did not take place as Ms. Hamilton did not appear. There was a May 1st filing by Melly's team saying that they were supposed to take place the first deposition on May 5th of Mariah. Ms. Liberty, while I'm looking through this, I apologize if you feel like I have attacked you or upset you at any point. That's not my intention here. Honestly, Garrett Steele actually seems kind of like a nice guy in some way. He's apologizing to her several times, like probably 10 times, but Liberty's very upset about him lying, apparently, about some emails. I see here there's a notice of deposition by Judge Siegel. There's one for Wednesday, November 21st, 2021. Mariah Hamilton at 1:30. Everything was involved in the receiving this. Another notice, November 30th at 1:30 for Mr. Holmes, which is Mariah Hamilton's mother, Miss Holmes. And you're looking for a specific May 5th one. No, you chose. I didn't want to see the notice of deposition. I asked if you said May 5th. Correct me if I'm wrong, I apologize. This is such a shit show. How hard is it to look at emails, bro? Like, what are we doing here? I could look at an email chain or like multiple email chains and figure something out very quickly. So going to now again and at Polo, would you agree that on April 18th, there was not really a coordination? On that specific day, like I said, I don't know everybody's schedule on that. And do you actually go and reviewing these emails? Do you actually see Ms. Bradley ever state that she was available on May 5th? Let me re-review them because I'm not going to speculate to that. Like I said, I don't know everybody's schedules. Well, no, I don't want you to know schedules because your report's saying, yes, ma'am, I understand what my report says. States notice of taking a deposition. Okay, here we go. Christine Bradley gives the address. Please take notice that on Wednesday, November 24th, 2021 at the Office of State Attorney, gives the address on Sunshine Council will take deposition of the following witness, Mariah Hamilton, at 1:30. You don't have to read it all. Who issued the notice of deposition? So it says Christine Bradley submitted by Mr. Aldecine, and then you are CC'd as well. So it'd be Stuart Aldecine who issued that. Yes. Is Mariah Hamilton's attorney anywhere on that notice of deposition? I don't know who David Howard is. Mr. Haddad is here. I don't know who that is, Ms. Liberty. Obviously, you're here. Is there an address for Mariah Hamilton on this specific one? I don't see one. So it'd be safe to say, looking at the notice of deposition issued by defense counsel, neither Mariah Hamilton nor her counsel, Christopher Barris, were put on notice, correct? I'll disagree with that because I don't know your guys, how you file. Ms. Liberty, I can't speculate that. I don't know how you guys operate. Does Christopher Barris' name appear anywhere? I don't see that now. You're charging my client. Are you aware what statute witness tampering is? Yes, I am. 922 is going to the overall, and then obviously you have your subsections and everything else. So what is it? 914.22. I thought you said 922. 914.22, and then obviously the subsections. So you review the statute. Yes, ma'am, I did. So does it talk about emails? Is an email the equivalent of subpoena? Contact is. So the statute talks about contact. Yeah. Can you show me where the statute? Sure. So that's why they're hashing out these emails. These emails, just contacting is enough to charge Melly with witness tampering, I guess. And also that's up to the state to charge that. That's not to me. We present it and then the state takes it from there. So I misspoke. I don't see the word contact in there, but it does say, or engage in misleading conduct towards another person, or offers a pecuniary benefit or gain to another person with the intent to cause or induce another person to withhold testimony, withhold a record, document from an official investigation, alter, destroy, mutilate, or conceal an object with the intent to impair or availability of the object to use for an official investigation or official proceeding. In this case, we're talking about a deposition. Does the statute say an email is sufficient? Objection to the cause for a legal conclusion, Ms. Bucklow. Sir, is an email sufficient legal process? Can an email be considered a legal process? I believe so, yes. Show me in the statute that an email is covered then. Objection calls for legal conclusion again. Well, actually, no, because she's just saying, show me in the statute. Basically, you just read it. It's not a legal conclusion. Mr. Aronson coming in and slam dunking on Ms. Bucklow with that objection. I want you to find where it says specific emails are the equivalent of legal process. Oh boy, things are getting juicy. Okay, the word email is not in the statute. Okay, so how would you then obtain legal process over an individual? It's however you guys decide to do it, whether meet in person or send an email, go through attorney, however defense or the statute or the state decides to get in contact with someone. However, the defense or the state decides to get in contact with someone. So 914 talks about witness tampering, right? Yes, ma'am. In your investigation, did you ever see a subpoena issued either from any of the defense to Mariah Hamilton? Yes. Could you show that to me? Yes, ma'am. For May 5th, was there a subpoena? Yes, ma'am, there was multiple. For the May 5th deposition, let me take a look. And there were multiple question mark? I believe there was only one deposition ever scheduled. Just give me a second. I don't want to misspeak or speak out of turn. Notice the deposition November 24th. Miss Holmes, her mother is the next one. Let's see. There's one from Miss Bradley. So let's see. Here's another subpoena that was left at the front door on 1021 at Mariah Hamilton's address at Cocoa Beach. I thought I just read May 5th. That's a subpoena, and it's a notice of taking deposition. So do you know the difference between a notice of taking deposition and a subpoena? I mean, I don't know. When I get one of these, I show up to come see you. Really? When you send me something, I come see you. That's why I'm here. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'm working with you, Miss Liberty. I'm not working against you. You asked me to be here and I'm here. In general, any individual, do you need a subpoena to get them to a deposition? I can't speak for anyone else but for me. That's why I'm here. Miss Liberty, you're correct. There's one subpoena in there, which I provided. And this was subpoena for deposition on May 5th. To answer your question, 1021 through 1021. So no, please ask your question again. What? Was that a subpoena for the May 5th deposition? This subpoena was sent 10/20/2021. May 5th, 2023, question mark? No, it was for 10/20/21 at 1 p.m. Your complaint says she was summoned for the trial. Was that a summons for the trial of Jamel Dimmons? What you just handed me? Yeah, no man, it's a subpoena for notice of taking deposition. Wait, that's a good point. All those charges or whatever said it was for the trial in July 2023 or whatever. What was the misleading conduct that you found in your investigation? Can you clarify that? Well, looking at 914, going to the elements, one of the elements is that individual, in this case, Jamel Dimmons, would have had to act with the misleading conduct. I'm paraphrasing. You're referencing the fact that Miss Hamilton never showed up. Well, that's different elements of witness tampering, correct? Yes, ma'am, there is. So she's basically asking him, when did he think Melly kept her away from the official proceeding? I determined in my investigation that Mr. Dimmons, along with two other co-conspirators, conspired to keep Miss Hamilton away from court and from any depositions. Was she paid any money? I have not yet found that. All right, so at the time of a year and a half, you're not sure if there was paid any money. All right. Did they threaten her? I think that was spoken about in open court. What was spoken about? So before I came in about the investigation, you guys went to court, I believe. There was text messages in court talking about Mariah wanting money. Now, I don't have that in front of me. If you want to provide that to me, I could show you. At the trial, it was spoken that in open court, Mariah was given money, wanted money, correct? Not that I'm aware of. I wasn't there in court from what? I'm not sure what you're talking about. That's fine. Just to clarify, I believe we're talking about a payment, and I could be wrong, of a car note. Is that what you're addressing, the issue of a car note, if one car payment was paid for her? Well, I never said anything but a car note. Money, exchange of money. In my testimony, I believe that in open court was spoken there was a payment to Mariah Hamilton. Cash, account transfers, vehicles, whatever the case is. At this point in time right now, that's unknown to me. Okay, so as we sit here right now, you cannot in all honesty say I have proof that Mariah Hamilton received a payment between the time period April 10th through July 22nd. I'm going to have to review all the evidence because this was before I came to the case. So this guy doesn't have proof of that, clearly. Do you have any evidence with you today that would show that Mariah Hamilton received a payment in 2023 from Mr. Dimmons? As I stand right here today, I do not have a bank transfer or account transfer of any kind of what you would consider payment in front of me. And you're aware that Mariah Hamilton was Mr. Dimmons' live-in girlfriend? Yes, after he was arrested. But you know after he was arrested, she was living with his family, correct? If that's what you're telling me. So you're not aware of that. Wait, I didn't even know that. After Melly was arrested, she still lived with his family. I had no idea about that. In your investigation, did you look at the financial discovery that was in the murder trial? No, I haven't had a chance to get it there yet. So in your investigation, did you learn that Mr. Dimmons had other girlfriends? Yes. Are you aware in the investigation if he has purchased other items or given money to any of his girlfriends? And if I told you there were girlfriends that received cars, jewelry, would that fall in line with what you hear when he was able to talk on the phone or what you would hear him talking about with the girls? So I think Miss Liberty here is just trying to point out that Melly gave money to other girls too. So it's safe to say Mr. Dimmons likes to buy his girlfriend stuff, correct? I mean, that's in any relationship, I would hope. But from 2023, no evidence of the tampering. What about contact? Did Dimmons have any contact with Miss Hamilton? He did have indirect contact, yes ma'am. Were there phone calls to Miss Hamilton? No, not that I've seen. Did Jamel Dimmons make any phone calls? To Mariah? Yeah. Interesting. What? He said Melly was talking to Mariah on the phone? Really? Was Hamilton ever referenced? Was Mariah's name, Miss Hamilton, ever referenced in those messages? She was, yes. As Mariah Hamilton. Specific name, no, but we knew her nicknames. How? Just through investigation that Polo conducted, Rihanna, Riri, and so forth. Riri or A$AP Rocky's baby mama, which I put in here as a report. But that's your assumption. You have no evidence that she's known as A$AP baby's mama, correct? Okay. Well, I mean, do you have any evidence that they're referring to Mariah? Or have to relook at this? And other than that, you have heard in the trial, you don't have any evidence of the payments to her, correct? I don't have anything in front of me. What other things would you say that Mr. Dimmons did or conspired to do as far as action to keep her away from this official proceeding? Were there threats to her? I believe in open court did show that. From Miss Bradley? No, from Mr. Dimmons. I believe it showed that in court something about, if recalled correctly, isn't verbatim. Something about a shoe being thrown. You throw shoes at their body, something of that nature. So is this from 2023 or 2016? Wait, is he referencing something from 2016? What is the context of this text message you're referring to? I don't have it in front of me. So you feel text messages probably sent between 2016 through 17 are proof threats from a case in 2023. Well, you're saying that you went through his phone, right? Jamal's phone. I haven't been through his phone yet because that has to do with the murder. So I think he did just accidentally reference something from 2016 or 17. Is there any contact between Demons and Miss Hamilton directly? Direct contact, there was contact through proxies. So no is the answer. My answer is there's contact through proxies. That's not really direct contact then, right? Direct contact as in they spoke face to face? No. Did they speak over the phone? I would have to relook at that. That's not what I referenced in the investigation. Did Terrence Mathis speak to her over the phone? Through proxies. Because it was through Mr. Henry. You're assuming he called Mariah Hamilton. I'm not assuming. That's what I found in the investigation. That's what the investigation leads me to believe. Tell me what you found. So obviously through the jail, the messages that were sent, which led to the phone calls out to Mr. Henry, and then obviously Mariah never showing up and never being available for any kind of testimony, for any depositions, anything like that. And then, like I said last week, she's not been located at the time. Okay, the more Garrett Steele talks, the more I think the witness tampering shit is kind of bullshit. It sounds like he doesn't really have shit. Like hard evidence. How is it possible that Law and Crime was able to interview her with her and BSO couldn't find her? I would love to find that out. If you have contacts with the attorney, please pass that because I'd love to get a conversation with them about that. Polo said that he believes Hamilton was living with Cortland Henry during the trial based upon messages found on the phones. I haven't gone through Cortland's yet. I've looked at Geneva's. Sure, so the process of going through the phone. Is she Mariah Hamilton's lover? What's going on here? Mariah Hamilton got a girlfriend? Is that what's happening? I couldn't tell you that. I don't want to assume something. Based on what Polo is saying, I've been dying to ask you these questions. What's going on if Mariah Hamilton is staying with Cortland Henry? Was there anything, I don't want to offend you, was there anything sexual in nature of those text messages? I would have to re-go back through them. I want to know, so was Cortland Henry sleeping with Mariah Hamilton? That's none of my business. It's a very serious question. That would be my motive right there. From those messages, is Cortland Henry sleeping with Mariah Hamilton? Why don't we wait and let him review everything, all right? Instead of just arguing with him. He knows what he's got to do. That's Bortland's lawyer chiming in right there. So this is getting messy as fuck. We've known about this, that Danny Polo basically said that he thinks Mariah was living with Bortland and like suggested they had a relationship. PlayStation 4, there's nothing on it, correct? No, I mean there were games. For record, there's no evidentiary value of the PS4. We are not using the PS4. Ooh, information about Cortland's house. YNW paraphernalia. There was gang paraphernalia that was found in there. Like I said, the phones that are still in process of review. There was also a ledger and a Bible in the toilet. Didn't the girlfriend have a gun in there too? Yeah, I believe so. There was an FM. What does YNW paraphernalia have to do with witness tampering? I mean, it shows there's a connection to the music group, so they are in it together as YNW members. Meaning he signed a record label YNW. Sure. So what does that have to do with witness tampering? It has to do with the connection to Mr. Demons and everybody else as YNW. So explain to me where you're getting the conspiracy. So here's the meat and potatoes about the witness tampering. Kites that are sent to the jail that were found in Mr. Howard and Mr. Math's cells. The phone calls that were on behalf of Mr. Demons to Mr. Henry. That's the conspiracy. Show me from this pile which ones you think are Mr. Demons so I know. I've sat with my client and asked him to show me and he doesn't give me much. So Melly apparently doesn't pick out any of the kites saying that they're his. To his own lawyers. So the ledgers that are found in Mr. Demons' cell, there were specific names referenced that are also found on the kites. Found in Mr. Demons' cell, you're going to have one Nike Way, and Old School that is between Mr. Demons and Mr. Howard is Nike Way. And you're also going to have B to Old School. What? What is any? I feel like I just read something that wasn't English. Is that like code language or something? B, so Bernie to Old School, which is Mr. Demons. James Howard is Nike Way. Who is B from B? Bernie. Who is that an alias for? I haven't looked into that. I don't know who Bernie is. It's part of these letters? Yes, ma'am. There's also stuff in here that it's not of value, but I didn't want you to think something was being hidden, so I gave you everything. Oh, well, that explains that. I was like, who the fuck is all this, dude? Old School is Mr. Demons. That's going through the context clues within the kites. Talking about zombies. That was found in Mr. Demons' cell. If you mix those up, you're going to have a bad day, so don't mix them up. How many fucking kites are on the table right now? This was found in Jamel's cell. I think it's lyrics. Mr. Aronson, my simple question after I listen to you read these things, how much of what's written there is from his slang and how much is poor grammar, poor spelling, or can you tell? There's a mixture of it all. Hopefully this suffices to answer your question. I can't specifically go through word for word and tell you it is not 90% as opposed to 20% or whatever the case is. Does that answer? Yeah, it does, because based upon the slang and lack of grammar, the lack of punctuation, lack of spelling, how certain are you that your interpretation of what is being said is correct? Because when dealing with gang members, what may look to the untrained eye like nonsense is going to have a backdoor meaning. Can you or are you willing to say, I swear that this says this, or is this an opinion that says this? I have no problem giving an opinion, absolutely. Okay, but you're not saying this is exactly what it says. In my opinion, this is what it says. With context clues. Okay, the more I read this, bro, the more I'm like, dude, these defense lawyers are going to shit on this whole witness tampering trial, if this ever goes to trial. It really all seemed like a bunch of nonsense. Comment down below what you think about this whole witness tampering case. Hit subscribe. I love you guys. Peace out.